Imagine this for a second. What if I told you that the biggest money mistake most people will make in 2026 is not about picking the wrong house, but about believing the wrong rule? A rule you've probably never heard of. A simple percentage that quietly decides whether renting or buying is smarter for you. And once you see it, you'll never look at rent versus buy the same way again. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll be able to run this math in under 2 minutes and avoid a mistake that can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. A few years ago, everyone said renting was throwing money away and buying was always the smart move. Then interest rates jumped, home prices stayed high, rents went crazy, and suddenly nobody knows what to believe anymore. Your friend says, buy now, or you'll be priced out forever. Another friend says, renting is freedom and buying is a trap. Social media is full of hot takes, but almost none of them show real numbers. That's why today, on The Hidden Guy, we're breaking this down in a simple, practical way, using something called the 7% rule. No fluff, no hype, just math you can actually use in 2026. Before we go further, quick reminder, if you like videos that explain money and life decisions without the noise, hit like and subscribe right now. It helps the channel a lot, and it tells YouTube to show you more content like this. All right, let's get into it. The 7% rule is not about predicting the housing market. It doesn't care if prices go up, down, or sideways. It's a decision-making shortcut. The idea is simple. When you buy a home, there are hidden yearly costs that most people ignore. When you add them together, they average out to about 7% of the home's value per year. If the yearly cost of owning using that 7% is higher than your annual rent for a similar place, renting is financially smarter. If it's lower, buying may make sense. Now let's slow down and unpack where that 7% actually comes from, because this is where the aha moment usually hits. First, you have property taxes. In the US, that's often around 1% of the home value per year, sometimes more. Second, maintenance and repairs. Roofs, HVAC, plumbing, appliances, all of it adds up. A good rule of thumb is another 1% per year. Third, insurance. Homeowners insurance isn't free, and on average, it's around 0.5%. Fourth, the opportunity cost of your money. This is the big one people forget. The down payment and extra cash you put into a house could have been invested somewhere else. Historically, that opportunity cost is roughly 3 to 4%. When you add these together, you're right around 6.5 to 7% per year. That's where the rule comes from. Notice something important here. Mortgage payments are not part of this 7%. Why? Because part of your mortgage goes toward equity, which you still own. The 7% focuses on the money that's truly gone each year. That's what makes this comparison fair. Let's run a simple example for 2026. Say you're looking at a home priced at $500,000. Using the 7% rule, the annual cost of owning that home is about $35,000 per year. That's roughly $2,900 per month. If you can rent a similar home or apartment in the same area for less than $2,900 per month, renting is likely the better financial move. If rent is significantly higher than that, buying starts to make more sense. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In many US cities right now, rents are high, but so are home prices and interest rates. That means a lot of people assume buying is smarter, when the math quietly says otherwise. The 7% rule cuts through the emotion. It doesn't care about pride, stability, or what your parents told you. It just compares two numbers. But money decisions are never just about math, and this is where people either overreact or completely ignore reality. So let's talk about what the 7% rule does not say. It does not say buying is bad. It does not say renting is always better. It simply gives you a baseline, a starting point. From there, you layer in your personal situation. For example, how long do you plan to stay? If you're only going to live somewhere for 2 or 3 years, renting often wins because transaction costs on buying and selling are huge. Closing costs, agent fees, moving expenses, they all eat into your returns. On the other hand, if you're planning to stay 10 years or more, buying can start to look better even if the numbers are close. Another factor is lifestyle flexibility. Renting lets you move easily for a better job, a new city, or a change in life. That flexibility has value, even if it's hard to put a number on it. Buying gives stability and control. You can renovate, customize, and you don't have to worry about a landlord selling the place. Those things matter, but they're personal, not universal. Let me tell you a quick story. I know someone who bought a house because rent was wasted money. On paper, it felt like a smart move, but the house needed constant repairs. Property taxes increased, insurance went up. After 5 years, when they finally added everything up, they realized they would have been financially better off renting and investing the difference. They didn't fail, they just never ran the full math. This is exactly why I like the 7% rule. It forces you to zoom out. Instead of asking, can I afford the monthly payment? You ask, is this the smartest use of my money right now? Those are very different questions. Now let's talk about 2026 specifically, because context matters. Interest rates are still higher than what many people got used to in the past decade. That increases the opportunity cost side of the equation. At the same time, remote work and flexible living have changed how long people stay in one place. That pushes the decision slightly in favor of renting for many people, even if buying feels emotionally safer. Here's a practical way to use the 7% rule today. Step 1, find the realistic purchase price of the home you're considering, not the dream version, the actual one you'd buy. Step 2, multiply that price by 0.07. That's your estimated annual cost of owning. Step 3, divide that number by 12 to get a monthly figure. Step 4, compare that to rent for a similar place. If rent is clearly lower, renting is probably the smarter move financially. If buying is clearly lower, then buying deserves serious consideration. And if the numbers are close, that's where lifestyle and personal goals take over. That's not a bad thing. That's how it should be. One more thing people often ask is, what about home price appreciation? Yes, homes can go up in value, but appreciation is uncertain, uneven, and not guaranteed. The 7% rule intentionally ignores appreciation because it's unpredictable. If appreciation happens, that's a bonus, not the foundation of your decision. Betting your financial future on appreciation alone is how people get burned. As someone watching The Hidden Guy, I want you to make decisions that still make sense even if the market doesn't go your way. That's how you sleep better at night. If you've made it this far, you already know more than most people having this debate. And this is where I want to hear from you. Are rents in your area higher or lower than the 7% number for homes you are looking at? Drop a comment and share your numbers. It helps others see what's really happening across different cities. Before we wrap up, remember this. Renting is not failure. Buying is not success. They're tools. The right choice depends on timing, numbers, and your life. The 7% rule just gives you a clear lens to see through the noise. If you found this helpful, share this video with someone who's stressing about renting versus buying in 2026. Chances are they're making the decision emotionally, not mathematically. And if you haven't already, subscribe to The Hidden Guy for more simple, honest breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.